When you're downplaying it, they know what's up. I don't
They
care
know
how old they are.
everything. They're so smart, those kids. Like any kids, they're like
Yeah.
it's crazy how smart kids are.
Yeah. And like you said, they make their own choice. And if it takes them 20 years to figure it out, that's on them. You
Yeah,
know,
and my relationship with them is the most important one. So I want to make sure that they know I'm always honest and open with them and will communicate with them, but also that I respect them. It would be I mean, even though they're kids, like they should know I respect them and I want them to respect me. And I don't think you can demand respect if you're also not showing it back. And so I owe it to them to respect them enough to be honest and open with them. I would never lie to them.
yeah. How important is it to not talk down the other parent?
I think it's huge. I think it's huge. I mean, I could go on for days because I mean, I get no help. I don't think he's a good father, but to them, he's Superman. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
little boys. They think the world of him. Who am I to take that away from them? They'll learn on their own. It's not my. I believe it is not my job or my responsibility to tell them who their dad is. And I'm not going to be the one that taints that because I would never want them to resent me if I was the one that put that in their head or if I was the one that exposed that to them. You know what I mean? So I think it's really important because I keep seeing this meme somewhere. I think it's really good. It's like um, something about the kids didn't divorce their dad. Like he's still their dad.
Yeah.
And they look at him as like this superhero and their father figure. And you know what I mean? So I would never, that's another thing I was adamant about. I will never speak badly about him. I will never argue, even if like over the phone with him, nothing. I don't say anything. I support it. Daddy's on the phone, daddy FaceTime you, want to call him back. I support the relationship.
So for somebody out there that wants to hurt, harm, or do injustice to their ex because they're angry and they hear this advice, but they don't, or they're like, all right, what do I do? Like, I get what she's saying, but where do I draw? Where do I get my power from to bite my tongue? What would you say to them?
It's really hard. It's really, really hard. I would try to pause, which it's very hard. And I can be very, like, I was very reactive. And it's like, I've come a long way where it's like there's no response to text messages sometimes, or it's just an okay. I think you need to stop and think about how does this serve you? What is this reaction, emotion doing for you? I think we always are like, we pour ourselves outward and we point fingers and we expect this other person to do right and make us feel better when it's our job. So I would have that person question, like, what is this response or emotion or behavior doing for me? Because at the end of the day, your anger outwards towards somebody else isn't doing anything but hurting yourself. So I think that I would say try to pause and think like how is this serving you and how is this making you feel better or how is this helping you move forward. It never is, but if you could pause and like have that thought, you might think twice about how you're responding, if you're responding in anger or hurt or harm.
Was there ever a time where you lost control, where you were like, I wanted to do it differently, but I just had to. He just pissed me off.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what did you learn from that moment?
And seeing like it doesn't do anything. My emotion, my reaction, my blowing up does not change his behavior. All it does is get me upset. And I think it's part of this. It's never going to be perfect. And I'm not sitting here like I'm through it and I act wonderful and I'm great and I'm happy and he never bothers me. Sure shit, he still bothers me. But I've learned to manage it better. And I've learned to understand that he's never going to be different. Any emotion I pour into him is wasted emotion, wasted energy that should be to me and to my kids. That doesn't mean some days I don't blow up. Like I got mad a couple weeks ago at him and it just was enough. And I flew off the handle and I was like, well, that was dumb.
Yeah.
And I haven't done it since. And I haven't done it prior to that in probably a year. So it's going to come up. I think it's just always like evaluating what what purpose does that serve, and what is it doing for you? Nothing. It's just getting you upset.
And what's your ritual when you clean it up? Like, did you go talk to him, or was it just you in a bubble bath saying, all right, I'm over it, moving on, next?
I call my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I call my friends. I think they're a really great outlet for me. Having that support, I think, is really important, to have those people in your life that kind of like bring you back down and like calm you down, get you grounded. And so that's one thing I'll do. I think yoga and like meditation is huge. So I think that's really something for me if I'm feeling agitated or I've just gotten into it with him. If I have an opportunity to do that, it's very calming for me. And I'm huge, 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 huge. As part of my program is journaling. Like I journal and just dump it out. And it's that release. Like it gets it out of you, you move on.
That's what saved me
Journaling?
every night because, yeah, journaling. Like she was narcissistic
Same.
and she was gaslighting me, and I didn't realize she was gaslighting me. But ever since I started writing things down, she would say that I said things, and then when I went back and I read it, I was like, wait, I didn't say that. I wrote it down. And then when I explained it to her, she was like, rah, 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 and I was like, wow, look at this gaslighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But journaling is, and not only that, like I'm writing a book now, and it was journaling that gives me access to all those emotions and those memories.
I
Yeah.
love journaling. I think it's so impactful.
Yeah.
It's,
It's healing.
it's healing. And it's like, there's something about pen to paper that's just this release, and a lot of those like heavy, toxic emotions, you just are like releasing them out of you. I think journaling is just so impactful.
Yeah. I think my aha moment for my personal release was I was camping and I wrote a letter to her, like professing like, you know what? I love you and you made a decision and I honor your decision, blah, 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 blah. And then I crumpled it up and threw it in the fire. And it was like, that was my, like,
That's
all right,
amazing.
I'm like, I'm letting you go. It's fine. Whatever's happening is fine. And this is life. Um, and there's something about the healing. Yeah. Like journaling, man, it really does give you access to something that's not available if you don't do it. Yeah.
I'm such a big proponent for it. I have all my clients journal. I think it's so huge.
That's a wrap on another episode of Divorce the First 6 Months. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more insights. Take care.